Hey guys, Matt Hawkins, Pensacola, Florida, Keller Williams Gulf Coast Broker Associate, here today to talk to you about buying a home and what are the steps involved through the contract process. Because a lot of times when you go through this process a lot as like a realtor or investor, you forget that not everybody knows what they don't know, right? So, like, what are the steps? Let's talk about it today and follow along. Hopefully, it's helpful. All right. So, today I'm going to start the video from the position of that we have been looking at properties and we are now under contract. So, once we are under contract in the state of Florida, we have 3 business days to make our earnest money deposit. Then, what I do is we will now enter our inspection period, which will be negotiated duration wise in the contract. Standard is 15 days, but typically, in this market with sales down a little bit, you can get your inspections done in 10 days. So during the inspection period, the realtor or either the client will order the home inspection and a WDO, which is a wood destroying organism. It may be different in different markets. If there's a septic tank that needs to be inspected, if there's some sort of environmental study, those things are all take additional time. So for the purpose of this video, we're going to just pretend that it is a home inspection and a WDO inspection. We order those inspections within the first day or two. The faster the better, really, right? So once we have those inspections ordered and they are being performed, there's a little bit of a dead period while we wait on those to be returned. Once they are returned, the client and the realtor will then review the inspections. Review the inspections to see, okay, what are the things that are going to hold us up from getting a clear to close? What are the things that we just really want repaired? And then 3, what are cosmetic things that would be nice but are not necessary, right? Once we have that list compiled, then the realtor will go back to the seller's agent or the seller and negotiate those repairs based off of the repair limit that was set during the initial contract. Okay, so once we have negotiated repairs, let's just say there was 10 items. They're going to be anything from a light switch up to a hot water heater or roof, who knows. But for this instance, let's just say there was 10 things and they agreed all 10. Perfect. So we are now moving forward. You are moving forward with your lender. We have ordered any sort of survey that is needed, and we are on our way to closing. The lender from there will pick the ball up and do their work behind the scenes, which would be a separate entire video. But as the realtor standpoint, we are done with that until we get back the appraisal. So the appraisal will usually come in later in the transaction, hopefully sooner rather than later. So if there is any issue, let's say the contract price was $300,000 and appraised value comes in good at value, no repairs needed. Perfect world. Let's move on to close. Let's say it's not a perfect world. What happens if the appraised value comes in at $295,000? Well, then we got a little bit more work to do. A little bit more work meaning that either the buyer in this instance would have to bring an extra $5,000 to closing, or the seller is going to have to issue some sort of credit or drop the price. More often than not, I see the price being dropped and either meeting in the middle, some sort of agreement. We're not going to lose a deal over a very small amount of money, especially in the grand scheme of things. But that is when additional negotiation comes into play there. So let's just say that, hey, we got that worked out. Now we're moving to close and we are off and moving. The next step after that is we're going to do a final walkthrough. The final walkthrough is for us to put eyes on not the entire property again. We're going to look for the things that we asked to be repaired, as well as we will look over the whole house, but to make sure no new things have arisen. But if we asked for 10 things in this instance to be repaired, then we're going to go and check those 10 items. and we are going to just review that they have been fixed. If they have been fixed, we can move on, and we will close probably in the next 48 hours. I usually do my final walkthroughs a day before. But if they have not been fixed, then we have to go back and say, hey, you were supposed to fix this, and we do a little bit more negotiating on things like that. But let's just say they were fixed. We have the clear to close from the lender, and the next thing is we move on to the closing table. I always tell my buyers to make sure you have utilities switch, cable service, any sort of services that you need to transfer to your new address that you get moved over. Forward your mail, everything gets set up so that it is a very smooth process. Some people get in, they forget there's gas at this house. I didn't get gas. I didn't have gas at my last house. I didn't know I need to get that swapped on. So those are all things that we talk about, and we try to make sure that are done so that it is a smooth process. The next step is we go to closing and we sign. If it is a cash transaction, the packet is about that thin. And if it is a lending packet coming from a mortgage company, then it's about that thick. And you will basically sign everything. If you do not sign, you don't sign, you get the keys. If you don't sign, you don't get the keys, right? So from there, the lender will fund, usually same day as we sign, and you will get the keys and move into the house. That is pretty much the transaction in a nutshell. The highlights that people don't understand are the very beginning of the inspection period, all the way through to close. And there are a few inflection points where there could need a little bit more negotiating to keep a deal together. But if you have a good realtor on either working both sides of the transaction, able to communicate well with both parties, or if you have two good realtors, transactions can go very smoothly with helping everyone understand the process. Where I find it drops off a little bit is when there's lack of communication on either side, or people don't set the right expectation up front. And I hope that was helpful. If it was, please like and subscribe below, and follow along for more videos like this. Until next time, have a great day.